The Prime Minister addressing the nation tonight, the former Minister of Health believes the Bahamas is in trouble, and the opposition blasting the Minnis administration for its handling of the pandemic. Good evening, everyone. I'm Tyler Simonet with your JCN News for this Monday, August 9th. The country is clearly in a fourth wave of the COVID-19 pandemic, with health officials recording a little over 600 cases within the past 96 hours. And while it was anticipated that the current state of emergency would have expired at the end of this week, a decision has finally been made to extend the SOE. With that said, the Prime Minister will address the nation tonight at 8 p.m. For more details, we go to JCN's Liz Bastian.
With a staggering number of COVID-19 cases confirmed in the Bahamas over the weekend, a decision has been made regarding the country's state of emergency that was set to expire on Friday, August 13th, and that decision is that the emergency powers orders will be extended. But until when? Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis will address the country tonight at 8 p.m. and will inform the nation of his administration's plans related to the current COVID-19 emergency orders and the country's future transition to a new legislative approach. Then, according to the Office of the Prime Minister, parliamentarians will meet on Tuesday, August 10th, for the Prime Minister to table a resolution to extend the existing emergency powers orders. Now, a notice from the Clerk of the House on Sunday sent to parliamentarians indicated that the House will reconvene in the lower chambers, noting that the Speaker, acting on the recommendation of the Prime Minister, being satisfied as is required by the rules that the circumstances of the resurgence of the COVID-19 virus requires the consideration of the Parliament to determine the extension of the emergency powers orders. The OPM's statement confirms that the House, after meeting on Tuesday, will convene on Wednesday to debate and pass the resolution. The Senate will meet at 3 p.m. on Tuesday to table the same resolution and will convene on Thursday, August 12th to debate and pass the same. As for what to anticipate in tonight's address, the Office of the Prime Minister says Dr. Minnis will provide an update on additional vaccine supplies as the PM has fought throughout the pandemic to get vaccines for Bahamians. He continues to work to save lives and livelihoods, adding that the Bahamian economy has shown remarkable growth in recent months. Bahamians are getting back to work, and the Prime Minister wants to protect the economic growth and job creation, ensuring Bahamian businesses can operate responsibly while also protecting public health. PM Minnis advises Bahamians to keep abiding by the public health rules, continue to wear masks properly, remain physically distant when out, and to wash or sanitize your hands frequently. This will be the fifth time in 17 months the state of emergency has been extended. The state of emergency allows the competent authority to implement measures to mitigate the spread of the coronavirus. The Prime Minister's address will be live right here on JCN 214 at 8 p.m. For JCN News, I'm Lucy Bastian.
I don't think that there's going to be any real benefit of speculating. Let's just wait and see what he has to say.
That's former Minister of Health, Dr. Dwayne Sands, responding to questions proposed to him by JCN's news team on what he thinks the Prime Minister, Dr. Hubert Minnis, is going to say in his national address later tonight. Meantime, with health officials recording over 600 cases in the past 96 hours, Dr. Sands says that the Bahamas is in a very difficult situation.
The hospitals on the verge of collapse. We are having to cancel elective care, and even some emergency patients triage to other ways of management. It is a very difficult situation right now. We have some 129 patients in hospital, more than 15 of them in ICU settings. It is bad. I don't think we've seen it this bad in some time, if at all.
Just last week, House Speaker Halton Motri noted that he was of the view that the orders were unconstitutional. Dr. Sands shared his view on the orders while stressing the importance of everyone working together.
Abridged in the setting of an emergency. That is the basis of the emergency powers. But I have gone on record repeatedly as saying that I don't support an extension of the emergency orders. Okay? However, we are in a crisis, and let us see how we can all work together to put our heads together to solve what is a worsening of the COVID crisis in the Bahamas. And I don't think there's a whole lot of benefit to quibbling right now. Okay? What we've got to do is put our heads together and figure out how we're going to get through this.
To date, more than 15,000 cases have been recorded in country. The decision has been made to extend the country's current state of emergency, which was set to expire on Friday, August 13th, and parliamentarians will meet on Wednesday to debate a resolution that will be tabled in the House of Assembly on Tuesday. Now, JCN's news team spoke with outspoken Pine Ridge MP Frederick McAlpine, who, before the decision was made to extend the emergency power orders, acknowledged that the PM has to make some hard decisions as he tries to balance the health and wealth of the country. Mr. McAlpine contends that the PM has to do a balancing act and find a way to save lives and yet, at the same time, revive the economy.
One has to consider that he has to give consideration to some kind of disciplinarian of our people during this period because the numbers are extremely high. And if it calls that there might be a minimum type of shutdown, bearing in mind, we had more lockdowns with less, and now we have more. So we're going to have to see how he has to find a way to balance. That may become difficult for him, but he has to find a way.
Now, House Speaker Halton Motri has gone on record to say that he sees the state of emergency as unconstitutional. Asked the same, Mr. McAlpine says he has to hear what the plan will be.
I won't just say, yes, I will vote for it. I want to know what the plan is. Having an emergency order is one thing, but I've been saying this for a while. You have to be able to save lives, but you also have to maintain a livelihood. So just tell me what the plans are, let me hear his plan, and then I will then determine on behalf of the people of Pine Ridge if we're prepared to go with it. But the problem is there has to be a plan. You can't just shut the economy down, and at the same time you just cannot ignore that people are losing their lives.
Debate on the resolution to extend the state of emergency will begin on Wednesday in the lower chamber. As COVID-19 cases continue to surge in the country, so do COVID-19 related deaths, as the Ministry of Health confirms another 3 unfortunate deaths for August 7th. These deaths follow 9 deaths reported by health officials on Friday, August 6th. In the ministry's latest update for Sunday, August 8th, the 3 deaths recorded include a 59-year-old male of Eleuthera, a 43-year-old female of Abaco, and a 40-year-old female of New Providence. These deaths pushed the country's total COVID-19 death toll to 307. Health officials also confirming an additional 169 new COVID infections for Sunday, August 8th. These cases added to cases confirmed between Thursday and Saturday total 603 infections added to the country's overall COVID-19 total within 96 hours. Of the 169 new infections, New Providence again leads the way with 134 new cases, 17 with a history of travel within 14 days, 13 confirmed on Grand Bahama, 11 on Abaco, 2 with a history of travel, 7 on Exuma, 2 with a history of travel, and 4 on Eleuthera, 1 of them with a history of travel. These cases pushed the country's overall total to 15,794. A further breakdown of the cases revealed that 92 are females and 77 are males. Active cases now stand at 2,500. Hospitalizations have also increased to 129. 114 patients considered moderately ill, while 50 battled the virus in intensive care. 668 tests were completed on Sunday, 25 were repeat tests, 474 results returned negative. A total of 87 cases were covered between Thursday and Sunday, pushing total recoveries to 12,869. Just hours before the Prime Minister, Dr. Hubert Minnis, is due to address the nation, Leader of the Opposition, Philip Davis, releasing a statement bashing the competent authorities' handling of the pandemic. In the statement, Mr. Davis asserts that the nation's leader has failed to protect Bahamians during the pandemic, as the Bahamas has more COVID cases and deaths per capita than our regional neighbors. He points out that not only does the Bahamas have one of the lowest vaccination rates in the region, but our country was 17th in the region to begin vaccinations. Mr. Davis also claims that Dr. Minnis blocked a private sector effort in February of this year to bring in thousands of Pfizer doses. He contends that the tragedy is that the competent authority has failed to plan ahead and failed to prepare the country for the faster spreading Delta variant, and that these failures have meant illness and heartbreak for too many Bahamian families, leaving the Bahamas with one of the worst COVID performances in the region. You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.